Right, so the pilot of Emergence aired last night on ABC. Basic premise is we start off meeting our main character, Jo, who she's the sheriff for a small town on Long Island, and she gets called out to a plane crash. And just before this, before she wakes up, she gets like the call in the middle of the night. We see like a bunch of like kind of weird electromagnetic stuff kind of happening around the house and stuff. So she gets called out, and NTSB is already there and like kind of taking over the scene and everything. And she like turns to go and do something else, and she sees this little girl who's like 8 to 10 probably, somewhere around there. And this girl doesn't remember like who she is or where she's from or anything. So she takes her to the hospital, and the doctor's like, well, there's nothing physically wrong with her. It's probably just like some like post-traumatic stress amnesia. Should clear up in a few days. NTSB shows up at the hospital, and they're like, hey, we're taking the girl. The girl runs off, ends up spending the night at Jo's place with her daughter and her father. Then later in the episode, another couple come and try to say that they're her parents, and then they very quickly realize that they're not. Oh yes, so let's talk about the little girl who they name Piper. So she's clearly the main focus of the show, I think. And she has like some weirdness going on. So fair warning, spoilers abound. I think everything I've mentioned previously is more or less covered in the trailer. Now I'm going to start getting into more spoiler territory for the first episode. So at one point when this other couple is taking her, they're in their like SUV and they're driving, and all of a sudden it just kind of like flips over and crashes, and both of them die, and Piper gets out like without a scratch on her. So like that's weird. And then at the very end of the episode, we see Piper like in a bathroom mirror, like feeling behind her ear, and she gets out this like box cutter and like cuts behind her ear and pulls out this little like orange ball that has like some circuitry looking stuff in it, and like throw it down the sink. So that's definitely a major mystery that's being set up for this. It is very much a kind of like sci-fi serialized. It's ABC hoping they have another Lost, is basically what it is. I set up a few mysteries, like where did she come from, why is she here, you know, like what's going on. I think it's a pretty good show. There are parts where I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really care. Like they're trying to establish this relationship between her and Jo, and I'm like, I get it, but it doesn't really work for me that much. Overall, I think it's pretty enjoyable, but it's the same thing that I said last year with what was it? Can't remember the name of the show now because I think it was canceled already, but. It's another one of those things where it's a serial show, so if it's successful, you'll get answers, but if it's not, it'll be really frustrating. I hope this is successful because I do want answers, and I think it's going to be a fun ride if it lasts. That's always kind of the struggle with a show like this, but I definitely recommend checking it out if you can access it like on demand or something like that. Alright, so the next thing we'll be covering is Stumptown, which I'm really looking forward to because I really enjoyed... I know I read the first volume, I'm not sure if I read the second of the comic. Really looking forward to this. Alright, until then,